Hello all, we are here for the lesson number 27 of this VariCAD training course, and this lesson is called Setting 3D Display Performance. This will be a shorter lesson than usual, and we will see only the topic of setting your computer to have the maximum performance in 3D models, in 3D assemblies. I will call one of the files that VariCAD has by default on the installation. Again, you know it already. Menu file, open, and now I will use the sample 4 file. Okay. This in this moment is in wireframe mode. I will change it to shaded mode like this. And basically the problem of the 3D is in all the CAD programs is the display of the objects we have on the screen. Bigger files have bigger demands on the hardware of your machine, of your PC, laptop, whatever you have. Okay. Basically, because if you have bigger files with a lot of elements, the computer will start to slow down, the operations will tend to take more time, and that is the problem. Okay. So in VariCAD is not much different from all the programs. You know that you have these two modes for displaying objects, wireframe or shaded. We will have other visualization modes in future versions, but for now we have only these two possibilities. And basically we can configure the behavior of the program regarding this topic in these tool menus, system settings, and when this is opened in this guy here, performance 3D graphics. Okay, this has some configurations, but basically we need to look for these two options down here. Okay, we can put these maximum performance settings, and it's like this, or basic settings, and you'll see that these will change. Okay, basically these are the two modes. For sure you can play a little, not much, but you can change a couple of these things, but basically you can set this for these two modes. Besides this, you have these options on top that say when 3D objects are displayed, the OpenGL uses individual commands, the less demanding, precompiled lists, or lists for entire solids, the fastest. Okay. In small assemblies, I would say that the difference is not a big thing, it's not a problem. The problem is when you start to work with big assemblies, and I'm saying big assemblies when we have, I would say, more than 500, even I can say even more than 1,000 elements. These start to be hardware demanding assemblies, and in these cases you need to have a good machine, a good hardware, and the configuration of the software to the maximum you can take from your hardware and software. So if we choose this option here, which as it is said is the fastest one, if you do the OK, you see that there is a recommendation from VariCAD. You can work with your machine, and my machine is not a super machine, it's a very normal HP laptop. But you have this recommendation that you need to have for this option at least 6 GB of RAM and an operating system working at 64-bit. Okay, that is a recommendation. For sure it will work also in my machine. This is a very small assembly, has 40 or 50 elements, so it's not a big thing. So, but basically everybody needs to understand, if you work with big files, with complex stuff, you need to have a very good machine. Okay, The other thing we need to talk about in this lesson is especially when you have this better machine, not a standard laptop as the one I'm working with. You can set your graphic adapter, and the graphic adapter, especially on the item that the anti-aliasing configuration. If you work in modes OpenGL, and which is, in my opinion, better than working in ATI hardware, you need to set in your graphic adapter an option that I don't have in this computer to show you, that on the anti-aliasing you should put, instead of have application controlled, which is the typical setting of the graphic adapter for these applications, you should put something like override any application setting. So your graphic adapter should control the application. And this is important because the anti-aliasing it will help you to have a better display of the 3D, and this is something that I will try to show you. The display of the objects, because the monitors of the computers, they have a problem on the performance they can give to the users. So this effect, if you see on the edge, you see a kind of a small segment, not a straight line. This is the problem of the hardware. And if you have these filters for the anti-aliasing, you can see a better performance in this type of thing. You'll see a more smooth line, not so small segments definition. I have an image that I've taken from the internet, and this is with the purpose to show you the difference of the anti-aliasing on or off. If you see on the left, you have an image of a shape that where I think it is noted that the definition of the contour, it's not smooth, it's not very good, and on the right it is, at this distance, it is more perfect. So on the left you don't have anti-aliasing, on the right you have the anti-aliasing. Okay, I will zoom in, you will see a little better. In the end, the figure is the same, and the definition is not as different as you could imagine. Okay, because you need to have always this shape by pixels. But if you filter, if you use some tricks, hardware tricks, and the hardware capabilities, you can smooth these edges, and basically it is what it was done in this example. So basically regarding the definition of the 3D performance, you have to notice this option on the menu tools, and have the attention, besides this configuration, that you need to have a very good machine if you work with complex stuff. Okay, so this lesson is finished. I hope to see you on the next one.